Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Who is Phil Knight? Phil Knight is the founder of Nike. Phil Knight was born on February 24, 1938 in Portland, Oregon. Phil Knight is the founder of Nike. His success story is not exactly a typical rags to riches story. His father, Bill Knight, was a publisher of Oregon Journal and earned decent amount to raise his family, providing all the basic comforts and education of his children. So Phil didn't start it as dirt poor, but the success he achieved was not due to resources but because of his never say die attitude. As he said, make history or be a part of it. Early life. Phil Knight graduated from University of Oregon in Eugene and earned a master's degree from Stanford. He completed a year-long service in U.S. Army at Fort Lewis and Fort Eustis. Right from his youth he wanted to leave a mark on the world, and as he wrote in his book Shoe Dog, he wanted his life to be play. In his final classes while studying, he wrote a research paper about shoes, and soon it became an obsession for him. So much so that he decided to start a career in selling shoes, for which he sold his car and got the rest financed by his father. Career. Phil Knight gave wings to his ambition when he started importing Tiger shoes from Onitsuka Shoe Factory in Japan. He initially named his company Blue Ribbon. For the first few samples he borrowed $50 United States from his father and started his company with his running coach Bill Bowerman as partner in April 1964 from back of his car. In the first year itself the sales were $8,000. For Knight it was not selling but believing in the product. Blue Ribbon grew fast, and within 2 years they opened their first ever retail store. During this initial time Knight attracted an inner circle of employees who were extremely dedicated and equally passionate like him about running and shoes. Though they were tight on budget most of the times, they were high on enthusiasm for what they were doing. Ironically, the banks did not want to finance him as the growth in the sales was fast and it impacted the cash flow. They wanted that he sacrifice growth and go for stability, an idea which never found favor with Knight. He used to say, "Life is growth. You grow or you die." Since he did not draw any salary in first few years so that he didn't become a liability on the Blue Ribbon, he worked part-time as accountant at Price Waterhouse. This also helped him in learning how companies sold their things and what were the trouble areas. This education became very useful in running of his own company. There was always a challenge that their supplier, Onitsuka, was most often behind schedule for the deliveries, and their first priority was their local market in Japan. At the same time they were looking to appoint some other distributor with more financial muscle. The problem grew severe and forced Knight to think about something that can end his dependence on the Japanese company, and in such circumstances Nike was born. Knight renamed Blue Ribbons as Nike after his Japanese suppliers went back on the agreements. He sourced other factories for quality shoes and poured all his expertise and innovation in the new brand. The company grew leaps and bounds due to dedicated and passionate employees and customers. By 1980 it attained 50% share of the U.S. athletic shoe market. On December 2, 1980 Nike went public. Today Nike has an extended product range including various sports shoes, apparels, sports equipment and street fashion. Personal life. Knight married his coworker Penelope Parks on September 13, 1968. The couple was blessed with 2 sons and a daughter, Matthew, Travis and Christina. In May 2004 his elder son Matthew died due to heart attack while scuba diving. Soon after Knight resigned as CEO of Nike on November 18, 2004. His younger son Travis is an animator and CEO of animation company and Studio Laika. Knight has been active as an philanthropist. He donated $105 million to Stanford Graduate School of Business in 2006. In 2016 Knight Hennessy Scholars Graduate Level Program was started with his $400 million contribution. He has also donated to Oregon University, UO Athletic Legacy Fund, Oregon Health and Science University. Knight has received several accolades for his philanthropy and other contributions in the field of business and corporate leadership. He has also written his memoir with the name, Shoe Dog. In November 2015 Forbes named Knight as the 15th richest person in the world. His net worth as of June 2017 is $24.9 billion United States dollars. Quotes by Phil Knight. 1. Don't tell people how to do things, tell them what to do and let them surprise you with their results. Quote. 2. The cowards never started and the weak died along the way. That leaves us, ladies and gentlemen, us. Quote. 3. The single easiest way to find out how you feel about someone. Say goodbye. Quote. 4. Life is growth. You grow or you die. Quote. 5. When you see only problems, you're not seeing clearly. Quote. 6. In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind there are few. Quote. 7. The art of competing, I'd learned from track, was the art of forgetting, and I now reminded myself of that fact. You must forget your limits. You must forget your doubts, your pain, your past. Quote 8. Hard work is critical, a good team is essential, brains and determination are invaluable, but luck may decide the outcome. Quote 9. People reflexively assume that competition is always a good thing, that it always brings out the best in people, but that's only true of people who can forget the competition. Quote 10. It's not enough to do good things. You have to let people know what you're doing. Quote 11. Key way to stay ahead was through product innovation. We happen to be great at it. Quote 12. We have to innovate for a specific reason, and that reason comes from the market. Otherwise, we'll end up making museum pieces. Quote 13. Beating the competition is relatively easy. Beating yourself is a never-ending commitment. Quote 14. Fight not to win, but to avoid losing. A surefire losing strategy. Quote 15. You cannot travel the path until you have become the path yourself. Quote 16. Like it or not, life is a game. Whoever denies that truth, whoever simply refuses to play. Quote 17. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Quote 18. For some, I realize business is the all-out pursuit of profits, period, full stop, but for us business was no more about making money than being human is about making blood. Quote 19. I wanted to win. No, that's not right. I simply didn't want to lose. Quote 20. The pain of his impatience, his hostility to my crazy idea, it had faded. It was long gone, but not the memory. Quote 21. If my life was to be all work no play, I wanted my work to be play. 22. The best way to reinforce your knowledge of a subject is to share it. Quote 23. When you really understand who you are, it enables you to fight and believe. Quote 24. Any entrepreneur has to prepare for a lot of dark days, and they've got to really like what they are doing, and they have to have a reason for it to succeed. Quote 25. Every businessman, or every person who has a passion for his work, is torn for the time spent at work and the time spent with your family. Quote. Thank you for watching. To get more useful videos, please subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you.